In this video, you will learn how to get a house for only $16. Let me show you exactly how.
Was in foreclosure for more than a year. The owner walked away, then the mortgage company went out of business. Apparently, that opened the door for someone to take advantage of the situation. If the owner wants him out, he would have to pay off his massive mortgage debt, and the bank would have to file a complicated lawsuit. Robinson believes neither is likely. $330,000 home is already his, and he has the paperwork to prove it.
So if you type in adverse possession on Law Cornell, it would explain to you that basically adverse possession is basically taking possession of land owned by somebody else legally. Now, if you see here, adverse possession is a doctrine under which a person is possession of land owned by someone else. Adverse possession is a doctrine under which a person in possession of land by someone else may acquire valid title to it, so long as certain requirements are met and the adverse possessor is in possession for a sufficient period of time as defined by statute of limitations. So in different states, there's different specifics on adverse possession. California has one of the strongest adverse possessions. Texas as well is one of the states that has the strongest adverse possessions. California, I believe it's about 5 years that you would need to take adverse possession of a abandoned home. Now, generally, the home needs to be abandoned. Generally, when you move in, it needs to be notorious, like make it known, or at least don't hide it, but make it conspicuous, like known, like, hey, I'm moving into a house, or hey, somebody's moving into this house. Make improvements on the property. So mowing the grass, fixing up the building, doing the roof if it needs to be, updated, maybe some new paint, some new windows, new interior, fix the bathroom up, fix the carpet up. If it doesn't need any kind of improvements, then just simple maintaining. So, mowing the grass, things in that nature. Now, while you are taking adverse possession, you need to take adverse possession for a specific period of time. In different states, it's different times. Now, in California, it's about 5 to 7 years. So for about 5 to 7 years, you would need to take possession of a land or property. And Texas, I believe it's like 3 to 5 years, maybe 7 as well. During that time, you would be paying the property taxes. Sometimes taxes are expensive, depending on if it's a mansion or if it's a house in California. If you're going to do this in California, or if you live in California, just know that, taxes could range anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 to $15,000 a year. So be prepared to pay that in California if you're going to do adverse possession. But after you find a home that looks abandoned and you're like, okay, this looks like a home that's abandoned. Okay, looks like nobody's been here. Looks like nobody's even going to be here for X amount of time. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and take adverse possession of this property. Go ahead and move in. Make sure it's, conspicuous, meaning like kind of making it known that somebody's moving in and it's not no kind of burglary going on. You're making it wide open, like you're actually not doing any kind of crime, because you're taking advantage of adverse possession. Go ahead and move in. Go ahead and fix things up and maintain things if need be. Go ahead and go over to the city clerk's office and start paying property taxes on it. May even want to draft up an affidavit of adverse possession, write it up with the information on what you're doing, what you found, get it notarized, and get it recorded at the county clerk's office for like $16. And, you know, just pay the property taxes and make some improvements on the home, maintain it. And after, 5 to 7 years, that house will be yours. Now, you may say, okay, well, what if the police try to kick me out, or what if the police try to arrest me? Well, it's a civil issue. It's not a criminal issue because you're actually taking advantage of a law because it's an abandoned home. It's an abandoned home. It's a civil issue that the homeowner would have to move forward with in getting you out. So if you put money into the property, like let's say you put $10,000 into the property, then now it's going to be a civil issue because it's like, hey, homeowner, or, I put $10,000 into this and I'm not going to move out unless I get my $10,000 back. So now that guy is going to be like, okay, I'm going to have to pay this guy $10,000 to get my house back. And he may not want to do that. So it's actually smart to put money into it if you can. This is a very interesting way to get a free house. It's completely legit. There's a guy in Texas that literally did this with a very brand new looking home. The people moved out, it foreclosed on. The mortgage company actually ran out of business. They went out of business. So that gave him the perfect opportunity to move in. And, he got adverse possession of it. Now, it probably would be smart to put money into a property because if they ever did want to move you out, since it's going to be a civil issue, they're going to have to, or you could make it to where they're going to have to pay you the money that you spent fixing up their home. And if you have any labor costs, you could charge for labor costs. At $30 an hour handyman service of repairing the roof, $30 an hour for mowing the lawns and landscaping, $30 an hour for this, $30 an hour for that, plus the $10,000, $20,000 that you put in the last X amount of months, plus the taxes that you paid on the property. These things will limit them from wanting to even kind of get the property back. And if they end up getting the property back and paying you all that amount of money, then at that end of the day, you made some extra money or got your money back and lived in the house completely free. So either way, it's a win-win. California has one of the strongest squatter rights, one of the strongest adverse possession laws. Out of all the states, California has the strongest. So if you are in California and if you have seen an abandoned home around you and know of one, just know that you could take adverse possession of that. You legally have the right to take adverse possession. Now, it is simple as that. Find an abandoned home. Maybe do some research to see on some foreclosed homes. If the mortgage company went out of business, that might be a perfect opportunity to take it adverse possession, just like the guy in the video. But the simple steps are just as simple as this. Find a home that nobody's occupying, it's abandoned, move in, blatantly move in, pay the property taxes, make improvements or maintain the house, and pay the property taxes for X amount of years, whatever is required in your state. It is simple as that. It is simple as that. Now, that's how you get a home. If you could do some research on your own, on adverse possession, which I highly recommend. Don't get discouraged if you see anybody getting arrested for it, because usually most of the time they're not doing things right, or they are low in a way taking advantage of it and kind of manipulating it and doing it in a weird way. For example, the house isn't really truly abandoned or something, like the bank still owns it, even though in a way like it is, since abandoned in that way. But just learn from the people that did it wrong and learn from the people that did it right and do it right. And this law is a law that will support you. But I'm not a legal advisor, I'm not an attorney, so just do your own research. But this is very valuable information that I would say is great to have on your tool belt. So go ahead and take advantage of it while you can. And yeah, that's how you get a free home. If you like this content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.